You guys remember the Paccar with the broken head bolt? Well, she's back and running. Just got back from a test drive. No coolant leaks, oil leaks, or anything like that. Of course, this is not the final test drive. The real test drive is when you hook it up to a loaded trailer and go and run this at rated horsepower. One thing we do still have an issue with is the coolant level sensor. Well, actually, it's really the tank. The float is actually stuck in here. And I wanted to give a little tip to the owner ops or even just the truck drivers out there. We've had a lot of issues on the KENWORTHs and the Peterbilts, and even Freightliners will have this issue with the reservoir, the float sticking inside the reservoir. And there's a way to get around it. I'm going to explain how it works, and I'll tell you how to actually manipulate the system. This will only work, of course, if you don't have an external coolant leak or the engine isn't using coolant. You don't want to do this if you do have a coolant leak, because then you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. But how this works is this sensor right here pops into this reservoir, and it goes into this cavity. On the inside of this reservoir, there's a magnet that travels up and down. The sensor sends a signal to the ECM on where that magnet is, on how it floats in here. So right down here would be low coolant, most severe, and you'll get a red stop engine light. Somewhere in here, moderately severe, and then right here is actually normal operating range. If you go clear up here with it, I'll actually throw a coolant low, believe it or not. So that's the sweet spot right here on the Paccar. On the Freightliner Cascadia, I'm not really sure where it's at. I haven't really had to go and mess with those too much. I've also seen issues with the wiring right in here. When this fan kicks in, hot air from the radiator, and it blows it right across this wiring, and the wiring will get heat baked and actually baked together. It's really odd. It doesn't happen too often. Usually your problem happens right here with the coolant level sensor or a reservoir. If you buy a reservoir, it'll come with the coolant level sensor, by the way. So little tips and tricks to help you guys out. I know trucking is really tough right now, and these little tricks can help you get off the side of the road, and it's definitely cheaper than sending me or anybody else out there on a road call for a stupid reservoir. You know, I'll keep you guys posted on this. When I got it up and running, I pulled it out outside and ran it at high idle up to 210 degrees. Of course, there's no new parts put in this other than gaskets and hardware. We reused the cylinder head. Nothing was touched with the block. The customer didn't want to really mess with any of that. I mean, this truck does have relatively low mileage, 377,000 miles on it. So, but as this thing progresses, as the driver takes it and operates it, I'll give an update on it and how it's doing, and give you guys the real truth on everything.